Kaylee Sanchez.
And I'm Lute Tunes Tuesdays.
And we are
Bedlam.
Welcome to another Lute Tunes Tuesday. Today we're going to talk about how we choose our pieces.
Voulez ouïr chansons composées et nouvelles des garçons des faubourgs qui aiment bien à boire. Dralin, dralin, dan, 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 dralin, dralin, dan, dan, dan.
Yeah, like
How do
there's
you
so
decide?
many. What do you do? Oh my gosh.
There are thousands and thousands and thousands of lute songs, and even just looking at the scores that are not facsimiles, there are so many to choose from.
Yeah, which ones are good, which ones are bad. And I'm afraid that like sometimes it's very tempting to just go on YouTube or pop in a CD and you'll hear the same, I'm not going to name which ones, but the same like 5 to 10 lute songs. We all know we've done this. We've gone on YouTube or we plopped in a CD recording.
And some of those are really, really great.
They're great. They're fantastic. But they've been recorded a million times and people have performed them a million times. And there are all these wonderful gems waiting to be played. And in some cases, waiting to be played really well. And in other cases, they just are dying to be performed. So we want to talk about how we go about finding our pieces.
So I guess the first thing, what I like to do is when I'm looking for a new program, I like to try and see what has already been done, and then maybe there's a composer that I like, or maybe there's a poet that I like, and I'll go and try and find music by that person that has not been done before, or poetry that has been set to music, but it hasn't been recorded, or performed very often.
Yeah, and you can check things like Naxos Music Library to see if something has already been done. That's a pretty big one. Or YouTube. I think the other thing is what she said was just to deliberately avoid things that have already been done. A lot of people have asked us, oh, when are you going to do some Doland? And we thought, someday, maybe. But it's been done so much. And that's why we started our first tour with a lot of Campion and Scottish tunes. Is we just thought, boy, there must be other great music out there, as great as Doland is.
And so many times when you look at a score, you really have to dig into the text, because you'll get a one-page score, you've got 5 verses, and it's up to the performers to see if they can bring it to life. And so as long as there's a story to be told, you can usually make it work.
Great example, View Me Lord. It's like one of my favorite Campion tunes. It's the same thing over and over again, other than the fact that the text changes.
Yeah.
And
so then you've got opportunities for ornamentation, and I think the second to last or last verse of our recording for that piece, there's a lot of ornamentation because it fits in with the text.
And that'll be a whole separate video, is, how to ornament, when not to. We'll dig into that. We'll open that can of worms in the future. But for today, just understand that what's on the page is not the performance. And it's so tempting to go listen to a great performer that you know and love and go, oh, that's great music because it sounds good.
Right.
And then you open the book and you look at it and you go, well, that doesn't look very good. It's your job as the performer to bring the music to life. And part of our big goal with this channel in general is to help other people look at this music and see the life that is there and the energy.
Empower you to go do it yourselves.
Yay! Maybe make your own videos, maybe do your own concerts and performances. That would be really cool. One thing I like to do is I'm a big fan of sight reading. And so I will challenge myself to sit down with a whole book of lute songs. So let's say Thomas Campion, first book of lute songs. And I'll just sit and I'll read through the whole thing. And I'll use what's called my coche voce, which means that, yes, I sang through it as I'm playing. And you're never going to hear me sing.
I do not play the lute.
No, she doesn't play the lute. I don't sing, but I do it because I want to know kind of what it's going to sound like. And then if I like the tune, I go, okay, I'll send it to Kayleen. And if she likes it, then we meet up and we go, whoa, this was really great. And sometimes, no.
Sometimes we've had some duds.
There have been duds. So I think it's important to recognize that, like, even great composers didn't always produce great pieces of music. Or maybe we're not the people to make great music out of it. Could be that you look at it and you go, oh, they didn't think to do this. And then suddenly it's a beautiful piece of music. So that's the other thing to keep in mind, is that there is a large subjective element to this.
Oh, absolutely. I think the biggest thing always is to have some kind of idea that you want to portray through the music. Find something that you want to sell to an audience, and then go for it, and really, really go for it. So many times people will come across a piece, they'll find a piece that is a really great piece, but they're nervous about offending someone. And so it'll just end up being a little bit vanilla. And as long as you go for it, you usually can sell it.
Yeah, I would say that if you're not offending anyone, you're probably not doing it right. I hate to say it. I have no doubt that we've offended a lot of people with our recordings, and maybe some of the things we've done. Oh, we're so sorry. Not. Like, go out, make your own recording, and make your own interpretation, and put your heart behind what you're doing. So I think be brave when you're looking for new songs. Be brave. Be bold. Do stuff that hasn't been done.
And like and subscribe.
Check out our videos, and you can see what we've done with our choices.
And stay tuned for our next Lute Tunes Tuesday. Bye!